Hello, welcome to the first rundown I'm going to do. In this rundown, I'm doing a rundown on the first 3 issues of Deathlok, written by Michael Emerens and art by Mike Perkins. Now, there are a few interesting notes about these issues. Maria Hill, who is Director of S.H.I.E.L.D., only appears in issue 1 and issue 3. She does not make an appearance in this issue. She doesn't really need to. She's Director of S.H.I.E.L.D., so that's great everywhere. Basically, this series is a continuation of the original Sin story, which introduced this series. It's kind of formed like what I like to call a comic version of a backdoor pilot. It helps sets up a series like this and stuff like that. These are really good issues to find. Here's issue 1. Here's issue 2. Here's issue 3. One thing to note about each one of these covers is that you always have Henry Hayes on top. This particular symbol, despite the fact that the circle thing doesn't appear on all just the first 2 issues, and 3rd issue looks like this, that symbol never changes. That's always there. Yeah. And that's the way that some art, and they rearrange the banner, stuff like that, but this always remains the same. Also, Domino makes appearance in this series, makes appearance in issue 2 and 3. And issue 3 is the return of Michael Collins, the first modern-day Deathlok, but the 2nd overall. Henry Hayes is the 4th one. Who were the 1st and 3rd one? The 1st one was Luther Manning. He was the Deathlok in the 80s and 70s and 80s. Then there's Luther Manning. Not Luther Manning, Jack Truman, who was the Deathlok of the 2000s. He was only Deathlok for a brief period of time, and he gave it up. And then he said go back to normal. This Deathlok is much up from the other Deathlok. This one basically does not know he really is Deathlok, and he has some things in common. Now, the reason why he's black is because they had Mike Pearson, who was Deathlok on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. That's the reason why he's black. He does have some things in common with them. Besides, of course, they're black. 1, they're both parents, and 2, they had their legs amputated, though in the case of the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. it was on purpose, so they could put the Deathlok on him. In the case of Henry Hayes, he got his form of combat, and he's a doctor without borders. That's basically what he is. He's a doctor. Mike Pearson was a single father, a divorce. He was a divorcee, who I think was unemployed, but I think later to work for S.H.I.E.L.D. But yeah, that's how simply the difference between these 2 characters. Oh, and also, this guy is bald, and they're both bald. Yeah. Not many similarities, but this is really good. All 3 issues. This issue has returned a black tarantula for the first time in 4 years. Yes, first time since Daredevil 512. Andy Diggle wrote the issue. Yes, the same guy who wrote Green Arrow Year 1, the same series that the Arrow series is largely based upon. But, yeah, great issues, all 9 out of 10. Alright, that's it for these. Alright, that's it. Stay tuned for the next rundown, which will be Inhuman.